Hello, my name is Alice and I'm a supply chain expert at Odoo. Being a supply chain expert at Odoo means you spend a lot of time talking about routes. And when I talk about routes with my colleagues, customers, or even partners, this is what I usually hear. Here is the twist. I love routes. I can spend hours designing logistic flow. As a kid, I love playing with Lego. And I have this exact same excitement when I design routes in Odoo. The possibilities are endless. It's where supply chain meets creativity. But let's be honest. When I first joined Odoo, I didn't feel that way. I didn't understand routes, they seemed too complex. Honestly, I was a bit scared of them. Maybe that's how you feel right now. So my mission today is simple. I want to show you that routes are not scary at all. On the contrary, once you understand them, they are one of the most powerful tools you have to design a supply chain. And we'll get there in 3 steps. First, I will explain key concepts about routes. Then we'll explore routes together in Odoo. And finally, I will leave you with some tips for a successful implementation. So let's start with the basics and answer our last question. What are we even talking about? Well, routes define the path that products follow inside and outside the warehouse. So you can see on this warehouse map that products are unloaded from the receiving dock, in the receiving area, then moved to the storage. And when there is a customer order, they are moved from the storage area to the packing area, shipping area, and then loaded to the truck for the customer. Okay. Then, a route is a group of rules. In this map, we have 2 different routes, the reception route and the delivery route. So let's start with the reception route. It's composed of 2 rules. The first rule moves product from the supplier to the receiving area. The second rule moves product from the receiving area to the storage. Then, on the opposite side, we have the delivery route, which is composed of 3 rules. The first rule moves product from the storage to the packing. Then the second rule from the packing to the shipping. And finally, the last rule from shipping to the customer. Okay. And finally, rules generate transfer. So in the reception routes, we have 2 different routes, so 2 different transfer. First, we receive, and then we store. Then, when there is a customer order, the first thing to do is to pick the product, then to pack, and then to deliver. So to recap, routes are groups of rules that move product from the supplier to the customer by generating transfer. Now, the first concept to understand is that rules follow pull or push logic. Push means that products move because they arrive at a location. So my products arrive at the receiving area, and they are pushed to the storage. Okay. Then pull means that products move because there is a need, like a sale order. A customer buys something, and products are pulled from the stock to the customer to fulfill this need. Then, routes have applicabilities. A route can be applied on a warehouse, product category, product, and so on. If a route is applied on a warehouse, it means that all the products going through this warehouse will follow this route. If a route is applied on a product, only the selected product will follow this route. If a route is applied on a sale order line, only the specific product on the sale order line will follow this route. Okay. Now, enough theory. Let's practice. Oops, sorry, priority. Enough theory, let's practice. Okay. So, the first thing you should know when we talk about routes, it's even if you don't activate the route setting, okay, they are already working. When you confirm a sales order, Odoo generates a delivery order. When you replenish a product with a vendor, Odoo creates a purchase order. When you replenish a product with a bill of material, Odoo generates a manufacturing order. So all of these are routes. So even if you don't know anything about routes, you are already using them. And without routes configuration, your supply chain should look a bit like this one. You buy and receive from a vendor, okay, to your stock, and then you deliver to your customer. Now, if you want to build more advanced supply chain like this one, you will need to start playing with routes. And that's what we are going to do today. We are going to build this entire supply chain in the next 10 minutes. In order to do that, we're going to take the example of a company selling bikes. The bike company. So let's dive a bit deeper into this company's logistics. We have 3 categories of bikes: electric bikes, non-electric bikes, and engraved bikes. Okay. The electric bikes are purchased from a vendor, and once purchased, they are received in 2 steps. First, they are received and then stored to the main shelves. Then, the bikes are manufactured by the company itself. So, once they are manufactured, they are just pushed to the stock. And finally, we have a last category, the engraved bikes. So the customer can ask to engrave his or her name on the bike. These bikes are produced on demand, of course. So it's only when the sale order is confirmed that they start producing the bike. All right. Then, when a customer purchases a bike, this bike is delivered in 3 steps. First, the operators pick the good from the stock. Then they pack it into boxes or pallets. And finally, they ship it to the customer. And we have a very specific case if we sell an electric bike that is not in stock. In that case, the salesperson can purchase the bike from the vendor and ask him to deliver directly to the customer. This is called drop shipping. So it sounds like a complex supply chain, but with Odoo, it's going to be simple. So let's jump into Odoo and check that out. First thing to do when you want to start working with routes is activating the route setting in the inventory configuration. So let's go to inventory, configuration, settings. Okay. There I can scroll down and activate multi-step routes. I save. And I have a new menu under configuration, which is the routes menu. In this menu, you can see all the default routes that apply to your warehouse. The manufacturing routes creates manufacturing order. The buy routes creates purchase order. The receive in 1 step creates a reception. And the delivery in 1 step creates a delivery once the sale order is confirmed. Okay. Now, if we want to build the flow that we had before, we need to adjust these default routes, okay, by changing the configuration on the warehouse, activating new routes, and playing with applicabilities and priorities. So let's do that. We'll do that first by starting with the most generic flow on warehouse level, and then we'll move to the more specific flow. So let's go to the warehouse here. Okay. So on each warehouse, you can define the default processes for receiving, delivering, manufacturing, and purchasing. Okay. So in our case, we say that we receive in 2 steps. So let's check this option. We deliver in 3. Okay. And there are some bags that are manufactured and other purchase. So that's fine. Once you select an option here, Odoo activates the corresponding routes and hides the order. So let's try. Now I can go back to my routes menu, and you see that I have 2 new routes, the receive in 2 and deliver in 3. If we go to this one, we see that this route is applied on a warehouse. Okay? This means that all the product going through this warehouse will follow this route. We also see that this route is composed of 3 rules, so it will generate 3 transfers. So let's try. If I create a first sale order here for a customer, let's say an electric bike and a non-electric one. Okay, both are in stock, that's fine, I can confirm. You see, upon confirmation, I have a first transfer created, okay, which is the pick operation that moves my product from my stock to the packing zone. I can validate. Thanks to this nice smart button here, I can access the next step, which is the packing, that moves my product from the packing to the output. I can validate. And finally, I have a last step, which is the delivery to the customer, moving my product from the output to the customer address. I can validate. All right. So we have the write-off option on our warehouse. Now, we also know that we have two categories of bags. The electric bags are purchased, the other one are manufactured. Okay. To configure this replenishment method, the only thing we need to do is either set a vendor on the purchased product or set a bill of material on the manufactured product. Okay? And this is new from Odoo 19. Before, you had to select the manufacturer by routes on every single product or product category. Okay? Now, just by entering the right information on the product page, Odoo will trigger the replenishment order. So let's try. If I go back to my inventory and products, okay, I have the first category, electric bag, that are purchased. On this product, I have a vendor, okay, and if I want to replenish, I can just go to replenish here, trigger the replenishment, and the purchase order will be created, okay. Now, if I go on a manufactured bag, like this one, you see that I don't have any vendor because I don't purchase the product, but rather I produce it. So I have a bill of material with all the components. If I replenish this product, it creates a manufacturing order. So let's check the purchase order here. If we go there, it's still in draft status, so I will confirm it. Okay. Remember that we have a reception in two steps. So upon confirmation, I have a first step, which is the receive to an input zone. Okay. I can validate and then move to the next transfer, which is the storage to my stock. Okay. And I can validate. Okay. So far, we have selected the right option on the warehouse and we have correctly set up the product. Now, we have a specific category of bike that we produce on demand. They follow a make-to-order approach. It means that we don't have stock of this product, but rather, as soon as a sale order is confirmed, we start the production. Okay? The replenish on order routes in Odoo follow the exact same logic. How does it work? Well, it only says trigger another route. Then Odoo will look for the appropriate route and trigger the replenishment. So this route can only be used in combination with another route. In our case, it will be the manufacturer route because we produce this product. So if I want to build this flow, I need to activate this new route in the inventory setting. And this is also new from Odoo 19. Before, the MTO route was archived by default in the route configuration. Now it's just an option here that you can activate in the setting. So it's way easier to find it. Once active, I can go to the routes menu here. And you see that I have a new route active. Okay. You see that this route is applied by default on product category, products, and sale order line. In our case, we want that all the products from a specific category will follow this route. So we will choose the applicability on product categories. So we can untick this option, okay, and apply the routes on the category. So let's go to configuration category, okay, and Griff Bike, and select the MTO route, okay. Now, if I create a sale order, sorry, to another customer, let's check a custom bike here. The second one for the kids. Okay. If I confirm, you see that I have a manufacturing order created automatically. Okay. And it's the combination between the make to order or the replenish on order routes and the manufacturing routes that create this strong link between the sale order and the manufacturing order. Okay, great. So we have a last use case, which is dropshipping. We say that if we sell a product, an electric bike that is not in stock, we can decide to purchase it from the vendor and deliver it directly to the customer. Okay, this exception is managed directly on a sale order, because we don't want that all the electric bikes follow this dropship route. Only in some cases if we don't have stock. Okay. So in order to do that, we are going to activate this new route like we did for the MTO in the main configuration. Okay, let's save. And let's see the routes menu. We have this dropship route active now. Okay. That we want to apply on a sale order line. So let's unselect this option. And we are going to create a sale order again for our last customer. So I'm going to select an electric bike, this one, for instance. You see that it's not in stock. Okay. And I'm going to apply the route, the dropship route, on the sale order line directly. Okay, for this specific product, this sale order line only. I select dropship. I confirm. Okay. I don't have any delivery created because actually I won't deliver from my stock, but rather I will purchase it. On the purchase order, you see that the delivery address is the customer directly. Okay. And upon confirmation, I have a specific transfer generated, the dropship here. Okay. That move my product from the vendor to the customer directly. And that's it. With only a few configurations, we have built this complete and powerful supply chain, just by activating push and pull rules and playing with applicabilities and priorities. So, to wrap up, let me leave you with 3 tips for successful implementation. First, stick to standard route whenever possible. Okay? They work fine and are consistent with each other. Custom routes can create gaps between rules, and it's not always easy to find where the issue comes from. Then, keep it simple. Add extra steps only when necessary. Too many steps creates unnecessary complexity and extra workload for the operators. And finally, start broad with generic flow on warehouse level, and then fine-tune a specific flow like we did today. And that's it. Routes are not scary. They are not for big companies or experts. They are just building blocks. And if you understand the concept we have explored today, you will be able to design any supply chain you want. Okay. So next one, someone tells you, I don't understand routes, you can just reply it, let's play Lego. Thank you. And if you have any question, just fill the pad.
Thank you very much, Alice.
You're welcome.
Very clear. I think it's not so scary anymore. Let's start off with the first one. How do you create a custom route in 3 steps, like palletizing, loading onto lorries, assuming the company has 2 lorries, and delivering to the customer?
So if you just want to create a delivery in 3 steps,
yes,
I would suggest to use the standard route that I've just shown. You can just change the location where the goods are. And if you really want to create your own route, well, you can just go to the menu routes, create a new route, and create 3 rules in this route, okay, with specific transfer.
Okay, thank you. Where can we find documentation to custom routes?
Oh, it's on the Odoo documentation online. They explain all push and pull logic and how do you build new routes.
Okay, thank you. How do you transfer goods to another company?
If you want to make an intercompany transfer, you need to create a custom route because it does not exist by default. And actually, well, whether you are in pull logic or push logic, you have to create a push route or a pull route going from one company to another and going through the inter-transit company location. That's very important. So it's always in two-step.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to generate a raw material transfer when a manufacturing order is created?
So yes, it depends from where you want to transfer raw material. But you can always, so you, here what I show is just manufacturing one step. You can decide to change the option to 3 steps. It means that you will have a picking operation for the components. That's the default route. If you want to go further, you will need to create a custom route.
Okay, thank you. Last question. I see a lot of questions coming in, by the way. On MTO, how can I prevent the manufacturer a product from being delivered to another customer that ordered the same bike?
I understand. So
shall I repeat?
Yes, please.
Okay. I see also some mistakes in the writing. So on MTO, how can I prevent the manufacturer product from being delivered to another customer that ordered the same bike, assuming there is a special request or design?
Well, on the manufacturing order, you also have the link to the sale order. So once you finish your manufacturing order, if you follow an MTO approach, you will have the sale order link and sale order reference. So it's easy to find the customer name.